my question is not from the Bible, it's to you. How do you use your 24 hours? When you are not preparing for an event, how do you use your 24 hours? And when you are preparing yourself for an event, and how do you use the 24 hours? It's two volets. My question straight to you. My second question is, you spoke about light. The first day, the last night of last year, the first day of this year. Matthew chapter 5 verse 16, Jesus said that. Verse 14 confirmed that we are the light. But in verse 16, he said, let your light shine. My question, how can I or can we make our light shine? These are my two questions, sir.
Thank you very much. Now, on your first question, every day is not the same. Yesterday was Sunday, for example. The activities yesterday were different from today. So you agree with me that every day cannot be the same. So my 24 hours every day cannot be the same. In general, I would answer you from the simplest way that I can put it for you. It's not how I spend my 24 hours. It is what are those things that I might bring into my 24 hours. Because my 24 hours, I am in fellowship. I'm in constant fellowship with God. So what are the other things that I might do along with my fellowship? For example, sleep. I have to sleep. But when I'm sleeping, I sleep in fellowship with God. You see, that's important because if you don't sleep in fellowship with God, you're going to be having nightmares. And I never have nightmares. See, so my spirit is alert. You train your spirit to become alert. In that way, no matter what happens to you, even in your dream, you're not going to do something different in your dream than you would have done in the natural consciousness. Except, of course, if your spirit is sleeping, and your spirit should not sleep. So your body sleeps, but your spirit is alert. And that is important. So it's actually, what are those things? Like now, I have to do this. Okay? You've come from around the world, and I have to come here. If you weren't here, I wouldn't be here. See? I wouldn't be here. I would be doing something else. So, for sure, one thing I don't do is run around. I don't have time for that. See? And God has helped me immensely. How do I explain that? Difficult to explain some things. Because then they wonder whether you are in the same world that they are in. But when God leads you, guides you, and blesses you, you have no concerns. You have no care in the world. And you can be in one place as though you're in 1,000 places. So I can take a chair and sit there and just be there. And many things will be happening. Not just around me, all over the world. See, because that's the grace that God has given me. You know, that's what He's given me. And the work that He asks me to do is without stress. He said, take my yoke upon you, for my yoke is easy and my burden is light. And you shall have rest for your souls. And I have that rest. See? So the most important thing in your life is your fellowship, your active fellowship. There's a legal fellowship and there is a vital fellowship. So that's what I call the active fellowship. You're in true fellowship with God. For example, I pray most of the time, but I do have special times of prayer in spite of the fact that I'm in a constant communication and prayer, because God is not someone that's far to me. He is with me and in me, and I talk with Him about anything. But aside that, I also have what you call a prayer discipline. You know, which means that I do set times aside just for prayer. Okay? And that means uninterrupted. Why others can be interrupted? There are other times that can be interrupted. You know, I'm talking with you, and in a short while, I'm no longer talking with you. I'm talking with the Lord. And then He tells me things, and I have to note them. I like to write what He tells me, because I've forgotten before something He told me, and it pained me. I prayed for it to come back. Prayed. So I learned a lesson. Write it down. No wonder He told Moses to write down. Look at why do we have the scriptures? He told them to write down. Because you don't write it, you're going to lose it. And it's not always because of another generation, someone else is going to be reading it, even for yourself. You need to write it down. So I made a habit of writing when God talks to me, because I don't want to lose it. See? And I'm expectant all the time. I'm expectant. I'm expectant. I think He's going to tell me something. See, so I'm in that consciousness all the time. I think He's going to tell me something. I don't want to miss it, so I'm listening. Because one of those things you don't want to happen to you is to stand before the Lord and then you say, oh Lord, I remember you actually told me. You don't want to remember there when you are before His throne. You want to remember now so that He can do it. So that when you stand before Him, He can say to you, well done, thou good and faithful servant. And He's never going to judge us according to what He told somebody else to do. He's going to judge us according to what He told us to do. My success is according to whatever He told me to do. He will not compare my work and results with Pastor Freda's work and results, or Dr. Shoki's work and results. No, He'll compare my work and results with what He asked me to do. Did I do what He said? Did I do it right? Did I do it with the right motive? All of those things. See? So, that's why